Ani bojo, Yibwanasin indígenas, Mkwadorumshkak Makwemiwa, Arasakan, Nindonjba. In English, that means my name is red-tailed hawk. I'm also known as Richard, and I'm from the Bear Clan of the Anishinaabe Nation. I just want to talk a little bit about Grandfather Vern, or Elder Vern, Japin Asin, and perhaps maybe share a little story how I had met him. And initially, I went to the Wandering Spirit School when I was 4 or 5, probably like 5, I think, maybe 6 years old. It was many years later, after I had been taken away through foster care and whatnot, then my father passing away and all kinds of stuff, that at that time I was very broken. Vern likes to use the word defeathered, and I was very desperate. I was addicted to drugs, alcohol, all kinds of things, and I was actually living, out on the street. And in a desperate attempt to kind of like save my life, I jumped on a bus and ended up in Toronto in detox, and that was my first like adult introduction to Elder Vern. And I remember that first time when I met Elder Vern. Someone had asked me, they said, "You want to speak to the Aboriginal liaison officer or Aboriginal liaison team?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I kind of shrugged it off. I had seen so many different people at that time, and nothing ever seemed to work. And there was Elder Vern who would come up, and he was with one of his colleagues, and we went into a little room that they had set aside that we could go and talk. And I started talking, and then he just asked me, he says, like, "Who are you?" And I said, "My name is Richard." And he's like, "Do you have a father?" And I said, "Yeah, his name was Glenn." I said, "But he went by the name Jed." And he's like, "I knew him." And he's like, Did you go to the Wandering Spirit School?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I remember you. You were 5 years old and you were coming up the stairs." And I was just like wow. And so when I started sharing my story about all my desolation and all this kind of dispossession, through talking in that first initial that initial conversation, Elder Vern was like, he had a story that was far more severe than my own, and that was like really eye-opening for me, because at that point it was like everywhere I went, my story was the most somber story ever, and everybody was just like, "Oh, like sorry, like I don't know how to relate to you." And then I was like, "Oh my God, I finally found someone that can relate to how I'm actually feeling." It really sunk home, because he was like saying, he says, like you're young and you have a lot of life left to live. He goes, "How do you want to live your life?" And that was pretty much one of the key moments, that when it finally sunk in, and I was like, you know what? I need to heed these words, and I need to do something about my life. And I was basically like a sponge, and I was listening to all of the things that he would tell me, and more importantly, actually trying to manifest those teachings into actuality. He was telling me that ceremony was important, that I had to go to ceremony. He encouraged me to go out fasting for the first time. He encouraged me to do all of these things that require work. And that's basically what I've been doing. I've just been following, I've been listening and doing. And I think that's how I ended up, how I'm 4.5 years sober now. And I have Elder Vern to thank for helping guide me and nurture me. And I know that I'm just one of hundreds, if not thousands of people that he has helped as well. Thank you.